a day before the test.
Well, you want me to do it tomorrow? This is the problem. This is the problem with the compressed quadmester, right? And this is the best I can do for you. Pardon? Yeah. I try my best for you guys. I'm up every night till about 10. Like I sit down at 7 and work till about 10 each night. Right? So I'm trying my best. So let's do this one. Let's expand 3x plus 4y. Okay? So we want to expand that. Okay? If we take a look at our, well, let's see our Pascal's triangle, right? I'm not sure yet. Oh my God. Like, you could write it out, right? Okay. Will you need it? Yeah. You'll have one of these questions for sure. I have the test. I just haven't looked at it yet. Okay. So we go back to our. Where's my reference sheet? Do I have my reference sheet here? Good. Okay. I go to my Pascal's triangle, right? And I go down to row 5, which is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do you all agree? It's the 1, 5, 10, 10, 5, 1? Okay. Let me go back to homework. So we have that. So you could cheat and go like this. 1, leave a space. 5, leave a space. 10, leave a space. 10, leave a space. I'm going to go down here. 5, leave a space, and then 1 again. Does that make sense? The 5th row of Pascal's triangle. You'll thank me. Next question. Hello, Mike. Wait, wait. Cassandra, you've been beckoned to guidance.
They finally got my email. Sayonara.
I like to see the school where she was expelled before you. All right. So, if we take a look here, if you take a look at your, well, we'll just do it by year. Okay. You take your first term. That's the only term that's in the, your first term here is the only term that's in the first one, correct?
Yep.
3x to the power of what? 5. Then as we go on, we write down both terms. What's the number? 4y. Oh my gosh, this is going to get squished. And the first term goes down 1 as the second term goes up 1.
Is it always like that?
Yep.
Like, but is the second term like always?
Yeah, whatever minus 1. Now, I'll show you, this is like the logical way of working it. If you want to use the formula, I'll show you how to use that in a second. Okay? 3x, 4y, we have squared and a third this time. What's wrong with this? 5, 4, 3, 2, oh yeah, here we go. 3x, 4y. This is going to be the power 1. That's going to be the power 4. Then by the time we get to the last one, what happens to the first term? It goes away, and we're left with 4y to the power of 5. Okay? if we look to the actual formula here, okay, we're looking up in this box up here. Well, it is, but it isn't.
So is this like the answer?
That's almost the answer. That's the first step to the answer. Okay? If you look at it, we had a plus b to the power of n. Does everyone agree? In the spot n0, right? Row 5, column 0. And if you look on the back, row 5, column 0 is represented there. And if you did 5, choose 0, you get 1. That's a to the power of n, or a to the power of 5. So it's row 5. Ça va? Then we go one term further, n1, it's a n minus 1, and then b1. So if you look at it, we take 1 off the first term, and we add to the second term. Then the next one we take 2 off, and we add to the second term, right? As this one goes down by 2, this one goes up by 2. It goes down by 3, goes up by 3.
So what's the answer?
Right, then I'll go back to it. I'm just giving the... So now, here comes the fun part. Now we have to actually do the exponent of this. Okay? So the power of 5 is attached here, so it's going to go power of 5 there and power of 5 there. And you're going to times that by 1. So what's 3 to the power of 5? Oh, I got my calculator back. Pardon? Do not say 15. 3 to the power of 5 is 243. So realistically, this next line would look like 1 times 243 x 5. Does that make sense? And the middle line here would be 1 times 3 to the power 5 x to the power 5. No. If you could jump straight to this line, I'm happy. Okay? So there's like step 1, step 2, and in between this step, I just rainbowed in to get that.
So is that it?
That's it for that term. Then I got to do all these terms.
But like then
That's it. That would be your answer. Okay? Now this one here is going to be, if I wrote down the middle step, it'd be 5 times 3 to the power 4 x to the power 4 times 4 y to the power 1, which would equal, there should be a plus in here, 5 bracket 81 x4 4y, and then you multiply this by this.
would you just keep it y because it's the power of
Yeah. 1620 x4 y. 5 times 81 times 4.
times 4?
4 is right here. No, this 4. Yeah, it's 4y.
I'm mom confused.
Why is it 4y?
I don't know what's the answer.
Because that's, yeah.
Oh, but you have to multiply it again because it's an actual
No.
Yeah.
It looks like you're
Four.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
12.
So,
No.
You put the x
16.
and y together?
yeah. It's just like x times y.
Yeah.
Like x times y is xy. Right? Right? You're just putting the x and y's together. Yes.
What's the answer?
I'm not concerned with that right now.
So what can we write down for this?
Well, let's get through this question first. Okay?
They're no fun.
So now, let me look and see if there's a question on the test like that first, right? To be concerned about it. Now, this next one, I'm going to underline this in purple.
I actually paid
Okay? I'll do this one in purple. What's the odds I can grab this? Good. This is just a long, like it's not hard in the sense of like it's not difficult math, it's just process.
So then you would do 10 times 27 times
Yep.
16.
Do you understand how I got 4320 there? 10 times 27 times 16 equals 4320.
So then you always multiply, I'm assuming you 27 and 16 first before you multiply it by 10?
Doesn't matter.
You'll still get the same answer?
Yep. Because what's 4 times 2 times 3? Right, it's multiplication division property.
What's this finding one term thing?
We'll get to that. Once we do this question, the next question I'll do is about that one.
Like I said, we were done.
Well, I did it the other way around.
16? 4 times 4? 4 squared is 16. In here? Where are you?
Third row, 16 points, second 4.
So, 1 row, 2 row, 3 rows? Fourth row. 4320.
The one beside it.
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
5 times 81 times 4 equals 1620. Okay?
So from the step 3, like the fourth line that you're at right now, after that, is that the answer? Or
Yeah, once I get all these expanded all the way out, that's the answer. Okay? No, because they're not like terms. Like these here are different.
But they are like
Yeah.
No, because it's X, Y.
oh,
Mr. O, would you say we do that a lot on the test?
I haven't looked at the test yet.
Okay.
Before you leave, I'll look at the test.
can't you just simplify it and have the x and the y on the side and then have the middle number?
No,
You don't want to
because they're not like terms. They have to be
put x and y in.
no, x4 and y are different, right?
Oh.
If they're the same exponent and variable. Okay, next one here. You want me to continue do all these?
Is this for one question?
Yeah.
Like, come on. You gotta draw a line somewhere. Like, that is so much
This is nothing. This is nothing. I will tell you right now. I'll tell you right now. This compared to other math you'll run into, right?
That ain't 3 lines.
This is not much at all.
When will I run into that?
Pardon?
When will I run into
I don't know what you're going to do in the future.
That's what you're doing.
I don't know what you're going to do in the future.
I want to be a history teacher.
Then you might not run into this.
I want to be a janitor. Maybe
Right?
teach you the history of foiling math,
But that's not my issue,
waste management.
right? My issue is to teach it just in case you see it in the future. If you got to university and you took a course where it was expected that you knew Pascal's triangle and how to operate it, then you come back and say, why didn't you teach me it? I can't teach you everything you need to know for the future, right? I teach you what some people will need to know in the future, right? But some people's jobs may not, yes, 100%, some people's jobs may not need this. But you're sitting here in this room with this expectation, right? And to follow that up, it's not that big. It seems big, but it's not terribly big in the whole scheme of things.
On OneNote, where is the other classes?
What?
Like this thing? Where is the other?
Oh, I'll put it in there for you.
So for this, is that where we use this? Like when do we use this?
My next question, I'm gonna do that.
So we can't really write anything for this on our own.
Let me go check with, I will go check with her after school. So we're all on the same page-ish, right? So like, you're right. You can write the formulas down, write them in sequence going across so you understand what goes with what. I'm gonna let you write. I'll tell you what to write for that one. Maybe the first 2 segments you can write, but you kind of have to just understand this concept, right?
But this is like the first line.
Yeah, yeah. But if you understand the concept of the first term starts with the same exponent, then the second term you take one off and you add one on.
Are we allowed to do like our own formula for this so that we understand it? As long as it has no numbers?
Not really. Like this is like this is.
I read a formula for this. Like if it goes like n.
Look at my chin shape, bud.
But like this is one of the no shortcut things you have to do, in a way, right? There's no shortcut to this. To understand it, you just have to practice it in order to get used to it and understand what's going on.
At the bottom. Or it just says like nx.
Now, I'll show you what I'll let you write next. Okay. Like this is one of those like it's.
What? Wait a second.
Oops.
Why is it on Bella's spam account? It's on Bella's account?
Yeah.
What is? Is this a recent account? Is this a new account? Or is this old?
No, it's just unfollowing people and she's like one of someone else in that school.
Callum, do you have a question?
No.
All right, I thought I saw your hand up.
Look at this. Look at this.
Which one was he using?
My face is open in the video I sent you. I was missing her face.
Okay. Here is the answer to that one. And just so you make Callum angry, this would be like a level 3 out of, like a, if it was out of 10, this is the type of question that's like a 6 or a 7 of difficulty. No, this would be like, no, out of hardest I could give you, this would be like a 6 or a 7. There's nothing really that difficult out of this one. Right?
It's not difficult, it's just that there's so much.
Correct. It is.
And then you get lost in the sauce of numbers.
And if you mess up one second.
Right. You're 100%. That's, but you can say that as like an angsty thing. But when you go to have surgery, do you want the doctor who is able to like keep concentrated, keep every little thing in order and so on and so forth?
Obviously,
Like,
I don't care. There's not-
like you just don't go like, hey surgeon, like just do what you can, don't get distracted, right? Or do you want the surgeon who knows, like, who keeps organized, attention to detail with this? Like this is part of my part where like you don't learn math for the sake of learning the exact skill of math. I'll agree with Callum. Callum will never use this again in the future. But the skill and the ability to stay focused, attention to detail, double checking work is a skill that will benefit you in tons of areas, right? That's the benefit of learning math. I'll see.
You and your Obama. I'm doing with you.
I will double check with.
When you're sleeping,
Right.
I'm gonna cover your eyes with Obama tattoo on your forehead. You and your Obama. I'm gonna Obama you until the day I die.
Oh no, I hardwired my computer in.
You can't say anything. You need to both
Thanks,
remember
Jen.
again.
Because I had her
Yeah.
text me.
Maybe if it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Alright.
Okay, Jenny, you want to tell me when you're done?
I texted you first.
Oh, yeah, we said-
You said 1 sec, never answered me.
1 sec, because I got hurt up my rear end.
Okay, Dante. Okay. Like here, this would be a little bit harder, although it's not that different. But what do you do here with the exponents? Like for example, if I did the very first one here, who can tell me what my first term is going to be for this? It's going to be 1.
Yeah, 1 bracket 2 x 3 to the power.
3 to the power 6. Yeah. Now what's my next line down when I go to expand that? What's that equal to? Like if I was going down,
2 exponent 6 times 3 exponent 6.
Three times that would be. I thought it was 3 to the power of 6.
no, it's multiplication. If you remember back to your 3M exponent rules, exponent law, it's multiplication when you go through there. When it's exponent of an exponent, you multiply.
But we didn't do that for anything else.
I bet there was a homework question like that. Whether you complete the homework question or not is, right?
Really smart. I didn't do that.
But we did it here because 1 times 5 equals 5. If we would have added it, we would have got 6, right? Okay. Callum?
I figured out my question.
All right. Here's my question here. Let's do number 5 together. Okay? In the expansion of this, I'm going to take that out. In the expansion of this, how many terms am I going to end up with?
8.
I want you to look at something to figure that out. How would you figure out how many terms you end up with? You need to look at your, and then go down to what row? Right? Then count your columns. I got 8. 1, 0. Oh, sorry. You're right. I went 0. 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Do you guys want to? I'll pull out my. Well, if you're not allowed the triangle, your question would probably, why can't I rotate you? I'm so angry at you. If you don't have this triangle, then most likely it would be within the first like 5. And if people of your education, can you build the Pascal's triangle?
Yeah.
Yes. Right? But we need to learn how. Right? If you look at 1, you just keep adding the 2 things next to each other. 1 plus 1 equals 2. 1 plus 0 equals 1. This here, 1 plus 0 equals 1. 1 plus 2 equals 3. Well, I'll take a look at the question. Okay, so if we want to know how many terms we have in the 8th row, we will go down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 0. Remember the top one's 0, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we count how many terms we're going to have, which would be 9 terms. If we count up those numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Pardon?
Because even though it says 0 up here, it still says this is row 9.
But we're only going to row 8.
Exactly, but you counted this as row 8.
No, I didn't.
You didn't.
Mr. O, couldn't you just go to the
Alright.
number
No, you
8 and
didn't.
count over?
It's because it's sideways, so it looks like it's supposed
Correct.
to.
But I'd much rather you know that that's row 0.
Yeah,
1,
but
2, 3.
I'll know it's row 8 when it says 8 on the side.
Correct. Right. Now the second question there is this. And I will probably rewrite your test so it has this question. Because I like this question. Oh, I don't like that question.
Not, I don't like it anymore. What do you don't like? We moved on it very quickly.
No, like just like curiously.
Pardon?
How would you find out which numbers have X12? Oh, just for.
No. I'll come back to you. Yes, but it's not, I don't want, the class doesn't need to learn it. That's fine. You guys can talk at your own time.
Wait, so what was the answer for A?
A was 9 because I went down 8 rows. I went to row 8, 0, and then I counted how many terms there across. Okay, The question I will ask tomorrow, and I might rewrite the test to get it in, is this question. It may not be with this exact one, but let me just make up a question for you right here. Let's say we have an equation such as 2x plus, I don't know, 4y squared. That's a nice one. And then we'll put it to, what exponent do you want to put it into? I like 7. It's a nice even number. Okay? I might ask you, what is the fourth term of this expansion? Okay? So here's what I want you to do. Do not do that. Look at your equation. Where's the equation sheet I gave you? Where it says finding one term. See where it says finding one term? Front page, second row, third over. It's in there. Look on. Hey, flip over your Pascal's triangle. I'm gonna let you guys have that formula. Okay. So, what's that formula say? N over R, bracket, bracket, A, N minus R, B, R. Does everyone agree with front page? Front page, no, so the one I gave you yesterday, or today. Front page, second row down, third column over, far right. Finding one term. Okay? So, everybody go to this Pascal's triangle I gave you with the combinations. I'll get it there. Okay. I'll come back to you. Okay? So we're looking at the combination Pascal's triangle. Okay? So let's go to the 7th row. Okay? And then what's the combination that is in the 4th term in? 7th row, 4th term in. 35. Using the combinations, 4th term in. I disagree with you. 7, 3. Because first term, 7, 0. Second term, 7, 1. Third term, 7, 2. Fourth term, 7, 3. That's the 4th term. What is the 4th term on the 7th row? So what's the 4th term of this expansion? Okay? Okay, Marley. All right. So the question is, I only want you to write the 4th term of this expansion. You agree that this expansion, if I were to distribute, do binomial distribution all the way through, it would occur on the 7th row. Do you agree with me? Paige? Okay, so I only want the 4th term. So if I go down on this to the 7th row, my 4th term in, that's my first term. 7, 1 is my second term. 7, 2 is my third term. 7 over 3 is my 4th term. Now, the nice thing is here, what's my A value in this case? My A is 2x. So it's 2x to the power of n minus r. 7 minus 3 is?
4.
Yeah. That would give us our 4th term.
Is this like a shortcut to the end or something like that?
No, but your first term is 7 over 0. That's the first term that exists.
I know, I said did we count this?
Yeah, sorry, yes, you count the 0 as 1.
Does this mean I don't have to expand the
Are we
whole
gonna
thing?
have this?
I'm going to make sure you have
Yeah,
that.
and then it shows us the light.
Okay?
Hell in heaven.
So if you only...
Stab in the stomach and fix it.
This is like a shortcut to get the one term, right? Now, b value in this case is 4y squared. And that is the r value. In this case, the r value is 3. Then I would just have to figure out my answer from here. I'd write 7 choose 3 into my calculator and get 35, right?
Would it be 21?
No, it would be 35.
7 choose 3 equals 35.
So 1, 2, 3. That's not what you just told us?
It's the fourth term.
But you just said now.
0, 1, 2, 3. Remember? The first term is 0.
But one time it's 0, 1, 2, 3, and then the other time it's 1, 2, 3. So how are we supposed to know which one's which?
Okay. But you need to...
That's 1, 2, 3.
Get him, Megan.
What?
Go get him. Go for the jugular.
That's what 0, 1, 2.
Alright, so they're Give me 1 second here. Let me pull it up on Adobe.
Why is it so hot? I'm nice.
I'm frustrated.
It's like really hot. It's just Dawn's fault.
For you. Where's week 4? Yeah.
So let's
Once this loads up, I'll be able to figure out the difference between, show you the difference between them. For some reason, my computer takes forever to load an Adobe file. I understand the confusion you're getting.
max all the way per tag posts, then find this post, and go here.
Okay, I'm going to
And scroll all the way down to here. How do you make this?
I see you, Callum.
No idea.
Is it going to be a question I can answer as I go through this?
Yeah, but how do you make it shine?
Callum?
How do you make
So
it shine?
is there a way to just do the whole thing like that?
You could, but it takes way too long. Like to figure out each individual one. It's essentially the formula for each individual part, right?
That just take it all the way down to the bottom?
All the way across. All the way across. Not down.
Oh, so you still have to do all the expansion?
Okay. It takes you across, not down. Okay, so the question was this, right? What was my formula again? I'll just make up a new one. 2x plus 4x squared, let's say. 4y squared. Okay. There's the question, right? The question, there's the statement. The question is, write the fourth term in the expansion. Okay? Does that make sense? Write the fourth term in the expansion. Now, if I were to expand this, what row do we work with? 7. So we're going across here. Okay? Which is the exact same as across here. Okay? My formula I showed you to pick out just one term was NR, right? A N minus R, B, R. Do you agree with that? That was the formula I showed you. Now, I asked you for the fourth term. So forget that these numbers exist, for lack of a better term right now. Let's look here. What's the fourth term in this line? What's the fourth term? 35, right? If we just look at it, 35 is the fourth term. First term, second term, third term, fourth term. But that also corresponds with, if we go across this way, first term, second term, term, third term, fourth term, it's this one right here.
So then when do we use 0?
0 would be the first term.
No, I know that. I'm saying whenever you do things, you say 0,
Yeah.
1.
0, 1, 2, 3.
So
Yeah.
if you were to say 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, it'd be 7 over 4.
But I'm referring, when I talk about 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm just referring to this aspect here. Okay? As in, it starts with 0 here, like 7 choose 0, 7 choose 1, 7 choose 2, 7 choose 3.
So then why, when you go from the top of the pyramid, do you call the first row 0? Like, that's what I'm confused with.
Why is the first, this is columns going this way, right?
Yeah.
So why is the first column and first row 0, 0? Or this would be 7, 0, right? This would be row 7, column 0.
So like the first one, 0, 0.
Pardon?
Isn't it supposed to be 1?
No, that's row 0, column 0.
But on the other triangle, it's 1.
Correct. What's 0 choose 0?
1.
1.
So wouldn't you say that's the first term?
Because the rows and the columns refer to like the combination that produces this, right? Like 0 choose 0 is 1. 1 choose 0 is 1. Right?
Okay.
Like these just happen to correspond with that. What I'm showing you is how to use the combination to figure out your term, like that term really quickly.
Okay.
Right? Using the combination here, we can just pick one term out of here.
Okay. So
Instead of going through this, if I didn't show you this, you would have had to expand all the way through till you get to that one and then figure that one out.
okay, so then when you were doing the formula,
This formula here,
why was it 35?
because 7 choose 3 is 35.
What do we do when we get that term?
That's the answer.
It is?
35 is the answer.
No, no. 35 is not the answer. So if we go through here, 7 choose 3, right? 2x to the power of 7 minus 3, and 4y squared to the power of 3, right? Does that make sense?
And now that's the final answer?
Nope. 7 choose 3 is equal to 35. I'm going to erase this and just make that 4. Okay? Times 2 to the power 4, x to the power 4, times 4 to the power 3, y to the power 2 times 3. Then I have to keep going here. 35, 2, 4, 8, 16. Uh, 64. Now times this times this. Someone do that in a calculator for me?
Oh, I got it. Okay.
35,840.
There. Right? I'm showing you a hard question.
So it's basically like if you were going down the rows,
Yeah.
but you're finding a singular.
Singular term.
That's the final answer?
That's the final answer.
Like
Yeah, that's the fourth term in that expansion.
So
The
why?
fourth term in the expansion always has, the fourth term in the Pascal's triangle is always the answer. Like we always use to find the answer.
No.
No, it's because I asked for the fourth term here. I could ask for the fifth term, seventh term.
Oh, so if you use the seventh term, then you just plug the seventh term in?
Yeah, then I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
You
which would
don't-
be this
you
one.
don't use that formula for that question.
For when you're trying to find one,
Yeah.
I think I named it finding one term,
Not when you fully expand.
not when you fully expand.
So when we did A, we didn't do like, because there's an exponent at the top, we didn't do the, see how you have the 2 times 3 there?
Yeah.
Because there wasn't anything inside.
Well, in
there.
here,
This
it's,
is all 0 or 1.
but in here, it's actually, if I were to rewrite this one, it'd be 1 times 4.
Yeah, so if you're comparing them,
1 time.
Technically still doing.
I'm still doing 1 times 4.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Okay. So that's how to do how to just get 1 term out of there. Okay. Cassandra,
Yeah.
your question about the blank sheet.
Yeah.
Okay. What I'm going to do right after school is I'm going to converse with Miss Thornburg, figure out what you're allowed in that sheet, and then I'll email you right away about what I will let you have on the sheet. Okay? Now, as I showed you before, this was what their reference sheet looked like. Their format sheet looks like. Right? As such. So you can plan on, at a minimum, this would be what you could have. Right? With that, I will let you do that. Now what I would do, since you have those nice boxes, and how I arranged it earlier, how I went sideways with each one, like this row was for this thing, this row was for that thing. If you want to arrange it like that, that'd be a wonderful plan.
Wait, so if we fill in this sheet, we can use that on the test?
Correct, that's the format sheet I want you to use on the test.
This one,
Correct.
the blank one. What about
We.
the one that we already made?
If you want to use that one and it doesn't include any other, like anything more than what's on here, then you can. What is it? Okay. All right, let's take up, I was going to take up the quiz right now. Okay, so everybody take out your quiz. This goes for online people too.
Before we start, knock. Please. It'll be worth it.
Can I have one? I'll have one back at you.
Okay.
Okay,
Knock.
who's there?
Yeah.
Yeah, who?
No, I prefer Google.
Knock, knock.
What?
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
I eat my...
I ain't doing that one.
Come on. Come on. Let's go.
I ain't saying that.
I did yours. We had an agreement before we started. The agreement was, I'll do yours, you do mine. I eat my...
I'm not saying I ate my poo.
Okay, here we go. Take out a different color of pencil or pen. You get the highlighter. I told that we gave my daughter that one last year, and she rocked it pretty well. Okay, so take out a different color pencil or pen. Okay. Yeah, I did already. I'll have to give you another one or something like that. So, what's the probability that a baseball player? Who assumed a baseball player is a boy? Right, Hannah?
Sexist. I'm calling up my cancel culture buddies.
Because you're wearing a baseball sweater right now.
We're a softball player. That's the girls' baseball.
Oh my gosh, Adam.
That's the girls'
Oh, there's this.
play baseball.
Well, she's been here longer, and you're sitting right in front of my screen. Okay, here we go. What's the probability? So a baseball player has an on-base percentage of 4.25. Okay. What's the probability that they will reach base every time in the game? So this here is binomial. Either they're going to get on the base or they're going to get out. Correct? Now, what messed people up here is it didn't explicitly tell you. And I'm realizing, as I teach this course, things that I may think everyone knows, not everyone knows those items. Like cards, for example, sports analogies and things like that. Okay? So, everyone should strive to be more like me so I don't have these issues from now on. Okay? It really helped me out. So, you need to get out in the world. So, They have 5 times at the plate. So that means our n is 5. Okay? Our probability of success is 0.425. And the key here was they reach base every time. So the successes we're looking for is 5. Okay? Then to figure this out, it's 1 minus 4.75, which I believe is 5.75, right?
Yeah.
Then you plug all that into your calculators. Now, for you, KJ, for your binomial, I made this mistake. There's a line through your formula for binomial on your formula sheet, KJ. Take that line out, okay? If you look at bottom far left formula. Yeah, see there's a line between there?
Yeah.
Take it out. Okay. What was our answer here? 0.139, which equals approximately 14% of the time.
Do you
Okay.
get an extra mark if you did 14%?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
So what are the 3 marks then?
Where's different? Let me run the numbers. 5 choose 5 times.
Mine was 1.39. I had an extra 0 after the decimal.
So did I.
What is wrong with my calculator? It's giving me errors.
I'll do it.
5 choose 5 equals 1. Why is 5 choose 5 giving me error? 5 choose 5 equals 1, correct? So we're looking at here 0.425 to the power of 5. Okay, there is a decimal place in there.
0.138.
Yeah, there's another 0.
Oh, yes, there is.
Okay?
Yes, sir, but I rounded up to 0.04.
So your marking code here should be, I would give you 1 mark for have these correct.
Yes, sir.
Okay? I would give you 1 mark for setting it up correctly. And then 1 mark for the answer.
How is that 14%?
Oh, 1.4%.
Yeah.
So if I didn't get the extra 0, I wouldn't get that correct.
I might give you a half mark.
Okay.
Since it's just a calculation error. Like you have this right number, you just forgot to type it in. Okay, what's the expected value here? We would use the expected value is n times p, which would be 5 times 0.425. So 2.1, right? There, you get a mark for setting it up correctly, get a mark for the correct answer. Yes? Why what? Why did I use that expected value? That's the expected value for...
The most colossal error of life.
I don't think it's that big. All right. Just watch. No, I'll tell you, Adriana, in the test how many decimal places go to. You touched what? What's he saying? Pig lungs. Okay. Nice. Did you breathe in them? See if they popped up? Good. Don't do that. That's Chilton. I teach. It's Evan Chilton. But I taught his brother Eric last year, so I can't call him by Evan or I'll mess it up, so I just call him Chilton. Twins, yeah.
You can't call him by what his friends call him either.
I'm not going to. Okay. Here we go. In a binomial distribution, n is 20, p is 0.2. Here's the big word that some people missed out on. Can. Can this be approximated by normal distribution? Okay. All you had to do was test it. Okay. So n equals 20, p equals 0.2. Now our two tests are the mean equals n times p, 20 times 0.2, which equals 4. So if this equals 4, do I need to go any further? No. You don't have to do anything further. Right? You could write not above 5, therefore, right? So 1 mark for this,
I did the second half though, therefore 2 marks.
1 mark for the reason why. Support your answer, right? So 1 mark for the
Yeah.
support.
What if you do both checks?
You still get 1 mark for the both checks.
So if it's not above 5, you can't do it.
If you don't get it above 5, a normal distribution looks like this, right? If it's not above 5, that means, so that would be something that is greater than 5, right? If something like may look like this, it may look like this, right? It may be skewed. That doesn't have a strong enough distribution. Okay? This would be if you want to do both checks, but 1 for the checking, 1 for the reason. Yep.
So your reason, you just have to make sure you say that it's like, it's not equal to.
Yeah, it's less than 5, therefore. Now, if you wrote it's less than 5, therefore it's not a what's the word I'm looking for there? Symmetrical. It's not symmetrical enough in its distribution. Then you get a 7 plus.
Oh, I heard that. I wrote that too.
Did you actually?
Yeah, I said when checking to see if this can be approximated by a normal greater than or equal to 5. Therefore,
You got a bonus half.
I get a bonus half.
Okay. Shh. So the key word here with this question is this. Estimate. Okay? Which estimate is very similar to approximate.
Oh,
Okay? So this points you in normal approximation.
not a real word.
What? Approximate? Okay, so now what do we need to do first? And I guarantee I know people didn't do it. You need to check. Well, what's the very first step we hear? Well,
It looked okay, and he said, yeah, that looks okay. What did I know?
Well, you do
I
need,
got
you
an
need
ass
to check
backwards.
anyways because you need to get your mean. Yeah. Or median or whatever the hell it's called.
that's half your check. But checking,
You
but
only did last time. 1 half last time.
because it already failed, right?
This one already succeeded.
I thought that's only, I thought
Jokes
you're
on
only
you,
not supposed
Mr.
to
O, I
do half
checked
when
it.
this one is
Leia.
under 5.
So they both have to be greater than 5?
Yeah.
Like, you tricked me.
Yeah, so you have to.
Pardon?
I'm Thanos.
Can the first
Oh, I need to answer Cassandra's question first.
Doesn't that mean you can't do it then?
Question 2. This one will be a greater than 5.
The mean was 6.66.
Yeah.
And then the other one was 33.33.
Yeah, we'll work through it.
Is you
So, checking here, my mean is 6.67, not the devil's number like one person in this class pointed out and looked at me.
Jenny, aka Jennifer.
Now, here's my checking. My other check is this, n times 1 minus p, right? 40 times 1 minus 1 over 6. I'll wait to the end. This was 33.
Yep, 33.3.
33.2.
Is you
5.2.
Okay. Both numbers over 5? Check. Now, here's where some people got in trouble.
Uh-oh.
The first step was to get the mean. We already have that, right? The second step is your standard deviation. I need to speed up. Which is the square root of np times 1 minus p. I walked around the room and some people had this going on.
Yes, sir.
Why is that a mistake?
Because it's that one and you have the n in front of it and it's just 1 minus p.
This has an n. There's no n in front of that. Okay, so those, you can't just take that number and stick it in there. Okay,
How do
you,
get caught
you have to recognize that's different. Yeah, which would be 5 over 6, correct?
Yes, sir.
What's our standard deviation? 2.4-ish?
2.36.
2.36?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it okay that we round it?
I will tell you, pardon?
It's the same thing.
Same difference. You'll get approximately the same answer, right? They may be off just a little bit, but it's not going to throw off your. Okay. Then we do our z-score, right? And Cassandra, KJ. On this one, your second number is should have the mean over it. Okay. Over a standard deviation, right? This one should have the mean over it, right there. Okay, just it's not on your formula sheet that I gave you. Okay. Now, if we think about this, high number, low numbering it, right? We want 20, and we want this here. Correct? This being our high side, this being our low side.
20.5.
No. 19.5. If you did 20.5, you did from 21 up.
Doesn't that make sense because it says more than 20 times?
Oh, you're killing me. If that was your reasoning, yes. If you just messed up on, well, I will make it more clear than that. Okay, 20 or more times, above 20, right? More than 20. Yeah. So 19.5 is what I'm running with. You shush over there. Well, 5 would round up to 20. More than 20 would be 20.5. Right?
Please prepare at this time for dismissal.
Yes, ma'am.
Also, a reminder to all staff, please close your classroom windows.
Okay, well, let's finish this off here. What's my number? 5 point something?
5.44.
Huh?
I got 4.4.
I got 4.7. I got 2 on
I got 5.86.
Depend if you use 20 or 20.5, right? 19.
So we can put 19.5.
So let's reason this out here. Right? Could you find that number on your chart? No. Because it's so far off here, right? It's pretty much right at the end. So what probability was it?
0.
Pretty much 0 because this is everything under 20. Over here was 20 and up, right? So there's nothing over here, so it's pretty much impossible. Take a picture of, this one here. How many marks on this one? 4. So if I'm giving marks here, 1 mark for the check, 1 mark for that step, 1 mark for this step, and then 1 mark for the reasoning. Pardon? Yeah. Now, if you came around for help from me, please take off the amount that you deem that I helped you.
0. You know how many Jack Biddle squat?
Right? I'm making a folder for you in OneNote right now.
Oh.
Uh,
Oh my god, since I have that half bonus, I got perfect.
Thanks.